King Charles' decision to promote his siblings for royal duties meant that Prince Harry has been firmly excluded by his father, according to royal experts. His Majesty has decided to appoint Princess Anne and Prince Edward as councillors of state. In a symbolic move taken on the monarch's 74th birthday, he asked the House of Lords to expand the list of those who can stand in for him when necessary. It means that it is highly unlikely that the Duke of Sussex or Duke of York will be called upon to deputize, as Camilla Queen Consort, Prince William and Princess Anne also hold the title. Speaking to Mail Online, royal biographer Tom Bower said it was obvious that there had been no reconciliation when the king and his son met around the time of the Queen's funeral in September. He said, "Clearly there was no reconciliation during the Queen's funeral, and Charles fears the worst from the Netflix series and Harry's memoir. Harry is firmly excluded, until he decides to come back to Britain and ask for forgiveness." Royal biographer Angela Levin argued that the slight to the Duke of Sussex and Duke of York was necessary. Mrs. Levin added that the Duke and Duchess of Sussex would be furious at the move, but that it was more practicable for His Majesty to ask the Earl of Wessex and the Princess Royal to deputize, as they are based in the UK. She said, "Harry and Meghan would be absolutely furious. But he lives in California, he stopped being a working royal, so why should he be a counselor of state? It isn't about Harry." Mrs. Levin added that the public would be absolutely furious if the Duke of York was asked to stand in, describing the king's move as very sensible. She added that the move was to ensure the smooth running of the monarchy. She said, "Reading between the lines, it allows him to ensure that the right people are doing the right job." Speaking to Mail Online, royal commentator Richard Fitzwilliams said there were good reasons why the Duke of Sussex and Duke of York hadn't been appointed. He said, "Since two councillors are needed to act, this makes perfect sense." Trips abroad are reportedly planned for both the King and Queen Consort and the Prince and Princess of Wales, so this absolutely had to happen. Harry should not be surprised at this change. The extra councillors included are loyal servants of the Crown. He lives abroad and there is a deep rift between him and the royal family. He lives, of course, in California, and would be bizarre if he were asked to act as a counselor of state. Andrew is in disgrace for obvious reasons, and it would have been outrageous if he were called on to act.